So Arsenal managed to avoid a fifth straight home league defeat last night with a battling draw against Southampton. In this video, I review that match. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over again, the Positive Arsenal channel. In this video, I'm going to look back at last night's battling draw here at the Emirates against Southampton, as we managed to avoid a fifth straight home league defeat for the first time in the club's history. Again, we had to battle on with just 10 men. And before I get into all that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you're new here, you like what I do, please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. If you've got any comments at all to make about the game last night, about the team selection, about anything to do with Arsenal at all, please drop them in the comments box below, as I do love to hear from you guys as well. So in terms of the team selection, and obviously we knew there was going to be at least two changes with Hector Bellerin and Granit Xhaka both suspended. In the end, Mikel Arteta made 4 changes and went back to the 3 at the back system that worked so well earlier in the season. So this is how we lined up then. It was Bernd Leno in goal as expected. The back 3, it was Rob Holding, it was Gabriel and Kieran Tierney tucked in as the third centre back on this particular occasion. And the 2 wing backs, Ainsley Maitland-Niles was on the right replacing Hector Bellerin. Bukayo Saka was on the left. The 2 in the centre midfield, it was El Neni and it was Ceballos who came in for Xhaka. And then the 3 ahead were Pepe on the right-hand side coming in for Willian, which was a positive move. It was a Aubameyang move to the left-hand side this time, and it was Eddie Nketiah as the centre forward. Overall, it wasn't a bad side. It certainly was as we'd probably expected. The change of shape was a little bit of a surprise, I suppose, but certainly not in the personnel. The big surprise to me, though, was on the bench. We had Mustafi and David Luiz, 2 centre-backs in a home game. We didn't have any real creativity. We had Willian and Lacazette who haven't been performing. Why was there no Smith-Rowe on the bench? Why was there no Balogun on the bench? These are players who can come on and make an impact, certainly in the final third of the pitch, which is where we've struggled. And as we'll see as we talk about the game in a minute, that was probably the case again. I thought it was quite obvious from the beginning that Arsenal were lacking in confidence, we're lacking in belief, and we seem to be lacking in a plan. And the first half in particular was pretty poor, certainly the first half an hour of this game. Southampton looked very good, didn't they? They're strong in all departments, and they got the goal midway through the first half. Of course, it was Theo Walcott who scored it. Again, I said in my preview video the other day that Walcott is bound to score against us as a former player. And didn't he take the goal well as well? It was a good move from Southampton. Shea Adams played the ball through to him. He got in between the 2 centre-backs and lifted the ball over Bernd Leno. Sort of goal that he scored for us many times, actually. And it's good to see Theo Walcott enjoying his football again. He seemed to have a bad time of it towards the end of his time at Arsenal, and also while he was at Everton, and he seemed to be revitalised now back at his hometown club. I had no problem with him celebrating a goal. Goals are hard to score, so everyone who scores one deserves to celebrate. There were no fans there anyway. If there had been, would it have been different? Possibly. I certainly didn't feel it was disrespectful. He doesn't owe us anything, does he? He spent 12 years of his career at the club, probably the best 12 years of his career as well. Scored over 100 goals for Arsenal, so I've got no problem with him. Congratulations to Theo Walcott, a well-taken goal. And it was a fully deserved lead for Southampton. But fair play to Arsenal, actually. It would have been easy for our heads to really drop with the run of form that we've been on. But we did give it a go, even towards the end of the first half. We had 1 or 2 opportunities. Bukayo Saka looked really, really good down the left-hand side again. But at half-time, I think it was fairly obvious that there were still issues, there were still problems. We wasn't playing particularly well, and we were facing this 5th straight league defeat in a row. But the second half, we came out, obviously Arteta got into them, and we came out looking a lot more focused in the second half, a lot more determined. And we did get the goal, didn't we, quite early on. And what a great goal it was as well. First goal we scored from open play in the Premier League since the beginning of October. And it was, I'd say it was worth the wait. It's been a long wait, but it was a great goal, wasn't it? Bukayo Saka again was brilliant down that left-hand side, a great run. He played the ball into Eddie Nketiah and he just pushed it on to Aubameyang. Finally got himself into a good position in the centre of the goal, sort of position that he loves, and he tucked it away beautifully into the far corner of the net. Didn't look like a striker going through a crisis of confidence, did it, the way he finished that goal? And it was much needed as well to make it 1-1. And suddenly you look like we may well go on and win this game. Southampton maybe had dropped their intensity slightly in the second half, and we took advantage. But It wasn't long afterwards, was it, when Gabriel became the third player this season to be sent off. It was a bit of a silly sending off, if we're honest. The first booking, kicking the ball away, having gave away a foul, needless booking really, and of course often these silly little bookings come back to haunt you. And it wasn't long afterwards, was it, when Theo Walcott got clear and he did pull him back. I think that was a clear yellow card, and having already just got one, it was a silly challenge to make. He didn't need to make it really, did he? It was just over the halfway line. I don't know, it was just another example of maybe poor discipline, poor decision making from some of our players. Gabriel's still young, we seem to forget that. He's got a lot to learn, and maybe he just got caught up in a moment a little bit. It wasn't like the two recent sendings off, was it, for Nicolas Pepe or Granit Xhaka? This was just two unfortunate yellow cards, a couple of bad decisions that he made, and that's it. Of course, it's only a one-match ban as well. But it did mean that we had to play about half an hour again with 10 men, which we're becoming used to at the moment. But instead of falling apart like we did on Sunday against Burnley, at least we dug in. Yes, Southampton had chances. We expected that they would. But I thought we defended really well, and we could have even nicked it, couldn't we? Right at the very end, we had a free kick, and it was a header from Rob Holding from the edge of the penalty area, beat the goalkeeper, all ends up, and came back off the crossbar. And when things aren't going your way, they're the sort of things that happen. When you're on a good run of form, that hits the underside of the bar and goes in, and we win the game. But when you're on a run like we're on, that's what happens. It hits the bar and comes out. But I think overall the draw was probably a fair result, if we're honest. I don't think we did enough to win, but at least we showed a bit of character this time. At least we didn't just let our heads drop. At least we battled away, and it showed that maybe the players are still playing for Arteta. So in terms of man of the match then, there was a few good performances actually for a change. Certainly from the home games, not often that we've been able to say that in recent weeks, certainly not in the Premier League. I thought Rob Holding looked solid at the back. Gabriel looked okay, didn't he, until he's sending off. Of course, Kieran Tierney does what he does. He got caught out a little bit for the goal, but other than that, he had a solid game. Obviously, Aubameyang got the goal as well, well taken goal. And he looked a little bit better, didn't he, out on the left-hand side. Maybe playing through the centre doesn't really suit him. But for me, there's only one choice again for man of the match. I know he got it at the weekend. It has to be Bukayo Saka. He was absolutely brilliant for us again. He's the one player, isn't he, that you know he's going to put in the performance week in, week out. He's consistent. He works. He gives 100% every single game, and he's got a little bit of quality that we've been lacking in that final third of the pitch. Maybe the left wing back role suits him better as well. He certainly seems to have a little bit more freedom. And I thought he put in a great performance. And of course, it was his run that created the equalising goal. Of course, he won't get the assist for that. It will go to Eddie Nketiah, but that goal was all about Bukayo Saka. So for me, once again, Arsenal's man of the match is going to be Bukayo Saka. So I guess we've got to be happy, haven't we, that we've ended our run of home defeats. Yes, a point's not really enough in the situation that we're in the league, but at this moment in time, we've got to take it. And there were some positives from his performance. I thought we battled hard. We worked really hard as well. And you could tell that the players maybe are playing for Arteta again. Certainly in the second half, we had a reaction to what was a fairly low-key first half performance. And even when we went down to 10 men, we really dug in again, a bit like we did at Leeds a few weeks ago as well, and come away with a point. And I think we need to be happy about that. We're still in a terrible situation in the league, aren't we? The teams below us in the relegation zone are all picking up points as well. So we're getting sucked into it a little bit, and we have got a tough run of games coming up. But it would have been a lot more difficult to have go into this Christmas period on the back of another defeat. So at least we managed to avoid that. So I think we need to look at the positives. It wasn't a great performance overall, let's not kid ourselves, but at least we showed a little bit more of the battling qualities that's going to be needed. And we did show a little bit of quality at times as well, particularly through, as I say, Bukayo Saka. So let's look at it like that. The team selection still needs looking at. We need to have more creativity on the bench. People like, I say, Smith Rowe, we need Balogun to come onto the bench as well. Just so that we've got options in games like this where we need something extra in the last 15, 20 minutes. A big game on Saturday, of course, away at Everton. They're on a great run of form as well at the moment. So that's going to be another tough game, isn't it? So it doesn't get any easier, does it? The Premier League this season, there's been a lot of unexpected results. Let's see what happens on Saturday. Let's see if we can get a run going now. We've got a draw here. Let's see if we can push on from here, pick up some good results over Christmas, and hopefully the new year can be a lot more. We can be a lot more optimistic about things going into 2020. 21, and we can put this bad run a long way behind us. So that's it there, a little preview of last night's game against Southampton, which finished in a 1-1 draw. I say a little bit of an improvement in certain aspects for Arsenal, which is good. Let me know what you think in the comments. What did you think of the team selection? What did you think of the bench? What did you think of the way that we played? I didn't feel it was a great performance, but we managed to get a result against a good side. Let's be honest, Southampton are a decent side now. In fact, they're everything that I would expected Arsenal to have been at this point under Arteta. You know, they're well organised, they're strong, they press, they're dangerous on the counter-attack, they've got pace, and they're a good side. You can see why they're in the top four. So let me know what you think in the comments there. Stay tuned to the channel because there's lots coming up. I've got a Positive Arsenal podcast going out tomorrow. I've got an Everton fan on, that's at 7 o'clock. We've got all the usual stuff on there, you know, past memories of games, players who played for both clubs. There's quite a lot actually who played for Arsenal and Everton, some big names in there as well, so that's going to be interesting as well. So that's going out at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And then I'll also have a full preview of the Everton game as well. So that'll be going on the channel probably Saturday morning. And then I'll be doing a live watch log as well on Saturday evening as Arsenal take on Everton. And hopefully we can build on this point and get a win before Christmas, make it a happier Christmas for us all. So that's it there. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. So stay tuned. Lots coming. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe in the corner there. Please give this video the thumbs up as well. And in the meantime, of course, as we head towards another tough game at the weekend away at Everton, come on, you Gunners!